I am a full-on OT level 8 when it comes to the cult of cruising. Hearing people say that they don't like cruises or all cruise ships are the same is infuriating. Any sensible person listening to these mad ideas will have you donning your recruitment hat. Next time you encounter an OP who can't tell Cunard from celebrity from P&O, try using British sitcoms to explain the differences. Here, ladies and gentlemen, we go. Cunard is, well, obviously Cunard is keeping up appearances. The Queen's room is the home of Hyacinth. As the applause for a few sandwiches and cakes dies down, Hyacinth clears her throat and begins to regale the strangers around her table with why sailing Cunard makes them better than guests on other lines, why P&O is like butlins at sea, and why it's okay to queue up at the purser's desk to remove gratuities. Watching the real Hyacinth, if you're old enough to remember that far back, was very Cunard. Not super broad with universal appeal, but certainly not highbrow and exclusive. A small minority of viewers would be on Hyacinth's side, but the vast majority were just normal human mans or womans who enjoyed a bit of old school charm. For every Hyacinth that you meet on board, and you will, there's a long-suffering partner rolling his eyes, and a dozen or so incidental characters that know she's a deluded fool and just enjoy living in the same world for half an hour, or a week or two. Ambassador is Only Fools and Horses if they did a crossover episode with Minder. Rough around the edges, sure, but its heart's in the right place. When you're on board Ambition or Ambience, the sight of a sheepskin coat or a sovereign ring won't even raise an eyebrow. Hearing the way that some guests might describe the corner shop might draw a gasp, but you know that there's no real malice there and it's just dated language. And let's be honest, at the prices that Ambassador managed to charge, it wouldn't be a surprise to find out that the roast beef fell off the back of a lorry, or that they had a lockup full of dodgy Smirnoff back at base. MSC is Faulty Towers. Sure, it looks nice enough from the outside, but as soon as the credits stop rolling and you step on board, it is utter chaos from the off. There's a lot of shouting and confusion, it's slapstick anarchy all the way, and half of what's going on might as well be in a different language, which, it is. You'll recognise the people that are supposed to be in charge. They're dressed smartly, but at the same time they look a bit dishevelled and sweaty. The Duke of Mailbury will be swanning around, dropping in yacht club references as if it's not the equivalent of the Aldi Extra Special range. And when you see someone at the end of their tether whacking an old mini with a branch, it makes you laugh, but you aren't in the least bit surprised. Virgin Voyages is Fleabag. If modern, stylish and, well, pretty uncomfortable is your bag, or Fleabag, then Virgin Voyages are the ships for you. At first glance you see something wild and different to everything that came before it. But when you take a step back, look at it without the dramatic lighting and irritating fourth wall breaks, and what you have is a self-conscious attempt at a ship that is desperate to be different from any other. But really, it's just another version of what we've all seen before a million times, with some sharp writing and a red dress. Carnival is Mrs. Brown's Boys. Utter bullskip. Royal Caribbean is the in-betweeners watching Red Dwarf. If you are currently or have ever been a 14-year-old boy, then Royal Caribbean is the line for you. Sure, there are some female characters, but when was the last time your mum invited you to go to a climbing wall, or your girlfriend asked you for a few games of laser tag? These big, loud ships are fun, but after a few episodes you need a break. Nobody binge watches Red Dwarf or back-to-backs 10 episodes of The In-Betweeners. And nobody wants to do a world cruise on Icon of the Seas. Flowrider completed it, mate. Celebrity is Cold Feet. This is a quieter, more thoughtful sitcom, or ship. The thinking man's friends. Cold Feet episodes are double the length of most other sitcoms, not because Celebrity has more to say, but because they want you to enjoy the way that they say it. Smug? No doubt. Funny? Absolutely. a depth that rivals struggle to match 100%. P&O is the Vicar of Dibley / Auf Wiedersehen pet. Obviously, these are two very different sitcoms, but P&O offer two very different experiences. If you're looking for a gentle trip that the whole family can sit down to after the Sunday roast, P&O have got you. Book yourself a lovely week on Britannia or Ventura to the Fjords. Or for a more packaged holiday experience, grab a fortnight on Iona or Arbia. There's something for everyone, and at worst, most people will think, it's okay. Lads, needing a break from the hut? Well, a 3 or 4 nighter on any P&O ship out of Southampton will scratch that itch. A couple of brickies, an electrician and a carpenter, chatting about decking on deck, tick. Lining them up at the bar and falling asleep in the nightclub, tick. And you should see how excited they all get when they realise that they are far away from home, but they can still get a curry. I don't bullet it! Fred Olsen is 1 foot in the grave. Most of the cast are a little bit older, but younger characters do make regular appearances. And whilst the decor might be very of its time, the humour is still pretty timeless. I've been rewatching 1 Foot in the Grave on iPlayer recently. It's funnier now than I remember it being when I was a baby. Possibly because I'm older now. Dunno. I'm not saying that that's why I booked my first trip with Fred Olsen, but at the same time, it does seem impossible to rule that possibility out. Perhaps not as stylish or cutting edge as more modern equivalents, but Fred Olsen is a great place to spend some time, if you lean into the vintage vibe. Princess is Heartbeat. And sure, Heartbeat isn't really a sitcom, but this is my list, so what are you going to do? Phone Sergeant Blaketon? Anyway, green grass shenanigans keep it firmly in the nana drama / comedy genre. When you board a princess ship and standing in the centre of the atrium, you get that feeling. Well, that feeling that you only ever really get when you hear Nick Berry pipe up. And no matter what day it is or where you are in the world, it is immediately Sunday evening, and you're back at home, warm and safe, leaning on your elbows watching the TV. Your parents are settling in on the sofa behind you, and yeah, it's back to school tomorrow, but it's not tomorrow yet, and you wish that the end credits would never come. So, there you have it. Next time you need to explain how one cruise line is different to another, give these sitcom similes a try. If they still don't get it, well, call them something horrible and just walk away. If cruise lines were British sitcoms, done.